chest, fingers flying, making patterns twist. Susie's voice breaking through the haze, crochet forever in a woolly maze.
Hello, how are you? It's Susie with Susie's Crochet Chat, place where we talk about yarn, hooks, tips, tricks, everything in between. Yes, I look a wreck. I was at the gym, then I came home, made dinner, and here we are. I had this video done earlier and it didn't turn out right, so I'm redoing this. Anyway, here's where we're at. Today's video, what I wanted to talk about is 10 mistakes crocheters, mostly beginners, but all of us really, make and how to fix them. Not so much how to fix them, but just ideas. I don't know. The first one is one that I think not only beginners do, a lot of us do, and this is like the biggest mistake there is. I'm, certainly guilty of it. And it's not counting your stitches. I try not to do that anymore and make sure I count. And if you don't, you're going to have uneven edges. It's just what it is. So I've been really trying to count my stitches a lot more than I have in the past. And Krista from The Secret Yarnery, she's great at everything she does, and she has some really good ideas. When she, like if you're making a chain, like a blanket, and you start your chain at, say, 250 stitches. What she does is every 10, like every 10 chains, or if it was a stitch, she puts a stitch marker in. And then, then you're counting 10, 20, you don't have to count each one. You know that up to here is 10. And then when you're moving up that stitch marker, you still only have to do 10, 20, 30. You're only counting by tens. It's much easier. So, and if you don't count your stitches, things get all over the place. They're uneven, and it just won't look tidy and, neat. It just won't look good. So that's, stitch markers really, they're very helpful. And yeah, that's what I have to say on that, is use your stitch markers. The second one is, and I'm guilty on most of, on all these really, skipping the pattern read through. I've done that many times. Okay, here's the pattern, I'm gonna start. Well, there might be special instructions that I didn't realize. There might be special stitches that I don't know how to do. Some of the repeats that only make sense later after you've done it a couple times or read through it. Things happen, and you'll get confused and you'll skip stuff. It just won't be good. So I suggest reread the pattern, and that's even on YouTube. If you're watching a tutorial or going to do something, watch the tutorial before you start it. It just, even if it's just a couple minutes through to see how the pattern's going to go, really, it makes much more sense to just know exactly what you're doing, reading it, or watching it. So, because you just never know. There might be something in there that you're not familiar with. So that's the second one. The third one is choosing the wrong yarn, and why then your crochet project does not look right. Well, that happens. That has to happen. Now, when I was making that, well, I'm trying to make a goose. I did not like the bulky yarn that you're supposed to use. So I am switching it up to a worsted weight yarn. Would that be choosing the wrong yarn? Yes, it certainly could. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm doing it with mindfulness. I know there could be a problem. I know that. So I'm going in with my eyes wide open that this might not work. But usually you want to use the yarn that's suggested, or you can always use different yarn. Like if it's the same weight, you can use a different brand. You know, that's okay. Now, different sizes, now that things can be a lot bigger or smaller or whatever. And we shall see. Like, I'm taking a chance doing this duck. Or not a duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose. So, you know, that's another thing. You have to really watch what yarn you use. Now, let's see here. Number 4. And I'm not so guilty of it anymore, but I used to be, is ignoring your tension. You know, your tension is really important to be even. You don't want real tight stitches and then normal size tension stitches and then these real loose things. Your project's going to look wonky as anything. It's not going to be the right size or shape. It's going to look sloppy. So those are things you want to really watch your tension. And that's where the practice comes in. You know, every day, and I say this all the time, every day I learn something new, something that I did not know. I don't know. Yes, whenever I did something, because any mistakes you make and then you fix them, there you go. Now you know something more. It's in anything. The more you do it, the more you're going to learn. So number 5 would be starting too many projects and not finishing them. Aren't we all guilty of that? I sure am. Oh, you remember my cardigan sweater? That was 2 years that I had sitting there. And yesterday, actually, I finished. I took some time in the afternoon and I weaved in all the ends. So now I can actually wear it. And you watch, it'll get nice and warm now and it'll be too hot to wear. And that's okay. I'm all right with that. I have some other projects that need to be done. And it happens. We all do that. But at some point, try to finish them. You'll feel so much better. I have a couple I'm going to finish, but I'm taking some time off because I did a big project, so I don't want to get all kind of frustrated and like, I don't want to do this anymore type thing. So number 6 is skipping the finishing steps. Well, I'm guilty of that too in the past, you know. Okay, we're here at this and it looks good and I don't really want to make anymore. I'm not doing it anymore and I'm done. Well, it's really not going to look all that great. You have to finish it. If it's a blanket and it has a border, put the border on. It might be a pain in the neck to do, especially if you're, you know, when you're doing the sides that are not the side you're crocheting on, and you know, and you're having to find where the holes are. Just do it. Make, you know, finish the project. Just finish all the steps. They're there for a reason. And why we aren't doing that, I'll never know. But I know I've done that, so. Number 7 is checking your gauge. Now, I don't do a little swatch. I just don't. But I do use a, my mind's gone blank. A tape measure. I do that to make sure, like if I made a granny square and well, that cardigan, you know, make sure these granny squares are the same size, you know. I'll use that. Or whatever the case may be, especially if it's in like baskets. It's really important to know your gauge. To see how, you know, when you made the circle at the bottom, how big is it around? Okay, now that's going to be how this basket's going to go. Wearables and things of that sort, structured home pieces, things, it really matters. So that's not a step you want to skip. Number 8 is trying to learn every crochet technique all at once. You don't need to. You know, when you're starting out, if all you're doing is chains and the only thing you can do right now is a chain stitch, so what? Just keep doing that chain stitch. Make that chain stitch until it's perfectly even and the tension is right. You don't have real tight ones. You don't have real loose ones. You have it just right. And then maybe you only then now know how to do a single crochet. It's the same thing. Do that a while. You will learn these other stitches in time. But you really, when you think about it, you have to get the basic stitches down. Because once you know the basic stitches, which really is a chain, a slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, and a treble. If you finally get those down, you can make anything because every other stitch comes out of one of those. So, and do you have to know them all the first month that you've crocheted? No, you don't. You can make lots of nice things and only know how to do a single crochet. You can make blankets, you can make hats, there's lots of things. You could even make amigurumi and only have a single crochet stitch. You could. So, you know, don't try to learn all the stuff at once. You do not need to. Take your time. Number 9, and this is a really good one, is not keeping crochet notes. You really, you know, there are papers and you can get them on Etsy. I think Fiberflux and Krista, the Secret Yarnery, they both have, like, I think Krista, well, maybe you can buy them both. I'm not sure if Fiberflux has it free, but you can buy pages or sheets of like a crochet notes. So it would say the name of the project, what yarn you're using, what hook size, project notes, you know, when you started it, when you completed it, how many yarn or skeins of yarn do you need? What size is that? You know, all those things. And you could probably get them on Etsy, or even Amazon, I know, has books that are like a project crochet book. And I think it's really helpful. They're really good to have. I have some. I've used them, and then I haven't. But it's really smart to do it. So keep that in mind. The last one, and this is the most important of all. Don't be too hard on yourself while you're learning. It is not that serious. It's crochet. It's supposed to be relaxing. It's supposed to be fun. It's, you know, all those things. So do not let it frustrate you. It is a skill. You will get there, but it takes time. Learn that one stitch. Once you got that done, go to the next then. But don't beat yourself up because you don't know how to do the puff stitch. So what? You don't need to. You can do all your other things and you'll get to that. Like I said, once you know all the basic stitches, you'll be able to do that puff stitch. You'll be able to do all kind of things. But don't beat yourself up because you don't know it today or tomorrow. You'll know it when you need to. So anyway, I hope you found this informative. Oh, there went my TV. Sorry about the noise. Yeah, this video was much better this morning. Oh well. And I look such a fright. Oh my goodness. But I did want to get this up first thing tomorrow. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it informative. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It really helps me out with the channel. And leave a comment. You know, I love to chat to you guys, and I always do, so make sure you leave a comment. Also, I have Facebook. You can go over to Susie's Crochet Chat on Facebook, and you can post pictures and ask questions, all this stuff. Everything you can do here on YouTube, because you can even post pictures here in the the community page or tab. So you can put that there. And I love seeing everybody's work, because everybody, you know, makes such pretty things and unique things. And I love seeing what everybody's doing. So this is like a us channel, you know. It's not just me and what I'm doing. I want to know what you're doing, and I want everybody who is in this and watching these gets to see what you're doing too, because, you know, you make such pretty stuff. So, you know, I want to show off your work too. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on the next one. So take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.
night, oil burning stitches remain, whispering threads holding back the strain. Susie's voice guiding, I'll never quit. Pattern's rough, but it's got heart.